Tag and Brag Nation and Goose Chasers, this episode is brought to you by Code Blue. Code Blue continues to perfect scent technology with industry-leading products. The From One Deer to One Bottle collection process is a breakthrough technique that guarantees that certified deer urine comes from a single deer rather than several, producing the purest, most potent scents on the market. Premium scents are its specialties, but Code Blue carries a full line of synthetic and blended scents for every season and every hunter's budget to meet the different needs of all hunters. Combined with that is the human odor eliminating D-Code line, featuring patented silver scent technology, the most powerful scent elimination available. Hunters who know where to go for advanced olfactory products choose Code Blue, the brand backed by science and proven by results. Guys, I can't express this enough. The end of November is here, and this is the time to take advantage of shooting one of those mystery bucks. You can get a great advantage by using these Code Blue products, specifically the Doe Estrus and the Code Blue Rope-A-Dope this time of year, to bring them in and give you that one extra chance at the buck of a lifetime. Tag and Brag Nation, what is up? Goose Chasers, how we doing? Your boy's here with a little solo episode. Dino flew the coop to Florida for a couple days to warm up from all this cold that we've been having and snow. Lots and lots and lots, and then a little bit more, and then a lot more snow, especially up in western New York, up at camp. We will get to that. But, yeah, them Code Blue products, I would still be using them right now. If I were you. I mean, I am still using them, but if I were you, I would still be using them right now just to kind of give a little go-around of what the hunting is like right now and what we're doing. Honestly, the last, night or two on camera, we've had a lot of scrape activity, have had buddies with a lot of scrape activity. So it's like, is that second cycle coming into session? Is that second cycle present with us right now? I think it is, because if you think about if a doe goes through their cycle every 28 days, or it takes 28 days for them to recycle, well, I mean, it's December 4th right now. So 28 days ago would be November 1st, 2nd, somewhere in the vicinity. Halloween-ish. That's when the going's good. So those ones that did not get bred during that time that are coming into a second cycle, well, don't be alarmed if you see a little rut activity out there, if you see scrapes popping up in your vicinity or on your trail cameras, if your trail cameras are on scrapes. But like I said, the Code Blue products, maybe a little estrus in the air, will entice a buck to come and be in your vicinity during daylight hours. I don't know. Maybe it's the preorbital. I don't know. But I'm just saying it's not too late to still find out. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Hopefully everybody had a fantastic Thanksgiving week. I know we did. Got to hang with a lot of family. That's always a major part of it, if not the part of Thanksgiving, seeing more of the extended family, which was fun. Got to do some hunting, which is a family tradition around Thanksgiving always. We and I haven't actually done this the last couple of years just because family stuff, significant other family stuff, and trying to fit it all in within 1 day's worth of friggin' time, but my dad has been going up to camp. Literally, he'll get up 4:30 in the morning, Thanksgiving morning, and drive up there. And for a while, especially in our middle school, high school years, and even into college, we would get up early, had the young stamina in our blood go with them. But then, you go to college, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, that gets to be, Friendsgiving. It's one of the most sought after going out nights of the year, having fun With Your Friends. We got into some of that. And still, my dad would be pounding on the door at 4 in the morning. Hey, get up. Let's go hunting. We'd run out the door. His truck would be on, ready to roll, and whatever. You just go with it. Those were tough hunting days sometimes. You wake up with maybe 2-3 hours of sleep, and you drive an hour and a half and you get in the woods. But it was tradition for us. It is still tradition for us. But like I said, with significant others and stuff like that in the mix, you got to make time for a lot of different family in and around the holidays. So my dad went up there this year by himself. He kept the tradition alive. But I was up there Friday morning, and then we got to hunt throughout the weekend. It was kind of a rainy weekend, really rainy actually. You could our vlog from the 22nd, 23rd is up on the YouTube channel. Check that out. But it was, an absolute soaker, almost to the point where we were like, well, maybe we just better off hanging at camp and standing by this fire and hanging out, inside and reminiscing on what a season it's been. But we went out. Dean and my dad didn't really see much, but I went out on some cut corn and I saw a boatload of deer, 10 different bucks. I think I saw 16 or 17 deer, but 10 different bucks, and that just went to show me that the bucks were, at that time, a week ago, the bucks were kind of coming off that lockdown phase, and they were trying to pack on some pounds and energy from the rut. They were probably feeling depleted. It was kind of that inclement weather. It was a cold, rainy day, and there was a few doe in the plot, but they were not really interested much at all. They would bump them around a little bit and check them, but their main interest was getting on the food. And it was a pretty cool hunt. Once again, seeing that many deer on the cut corn in the absolute pissing rain, it was cool. So I enjoyed that. And that's been that was kind of the last normal, quote unquote, normal hunt that I've had. I hunted a couple times in Ohio, didn't really see much. But this past week in New York, we've gotten hit with a snowstorm for the ages. And it's actually been a snowstorm that honestly I can't even really comprehend. I've never seen as much snow come down in as little amount of time. Normally with the lake effect bands, and we're right on the ridge off the lake, or we're right on the other side of the ridge opposite of the lake. So normally the lake effect comes over that ridge and it just dumps on us. And in the past, it's not anything out of the ordinary for us to get 2-3 feet of snow over time, especially, once you get into late December, January, and definitely into February when the snow's kind of packed up. You haven't really had a thaw. It's not uncommon for us to get that much snow and as little and over time, but we've gotten now, I think they said 70 inches of snow, and that's been since last Friday, I believe. So about 4 or 5 days. It's honestly almost sad to some degree because Dean and I were just up there yesterday removing more snow, clearing the place out, getting the driveway cleared, getting the garage cleared, or in front of the garage cleared. I was actually shoveling snow off the roof because that just looks not good. Like there's so much weight on the roof. I wanted to give that a little bit of relief. And you almost feel bad for the animals that are up there right now and what they have to go through, but it's just the respect that I have for them is out of this world because they survive conditions that are unfathomable to any of us, that's for sure. And finding food, just traveling from A to B now at this point. I mean, we probably we probably got about 70 inches of snow over time. I bet there's anywhere between 40 and 50 actually like compacted now as an average, I would say. You get some of the drifts that you could literally step in, and I'm 6 feet tall. I could probably go up to my chin in snow, and it just like that, and not even know it. That's why you got to be. I mean, you really can't walk around that far, but if you were walking around, you got to be careful, because wherever it drifts, it's literally like, it's almost like quicksand. You get in it, and it's just like you could go down another foot or so and kind of be stuck. I hunted last Friday, and my dad and I drove back up together early Friday morning in an absolute blizzard. A hour and about 45-minute drive took us 3 hours. We got there. We were going to go into the woods to try and hunt in the morning, and we immediately just had to start plowing snow out of the driveway, just moving snow off the porches, just so that we could get in and out of the house, in and out of the garage. And that took us a couple hours. We did that, and we had to do that another 2 times by midnight that same evening. Well, I decided to go into the woods or go crawl into a blind that evening, and it was literally hammering down snow. I mean, you guys always hear me joke and hear me talk about, the big bucks loving the adverse weather, especially up in New York. And we've had great luck. I mean, killed the Godfather on an absolute blizzard, windy day. Killed Nipsey on an absolute blizzard of a day. Sventek Jr., Sventek both of those bucks were the same way, just windy, gnarly, raining, snow, whatever adverse weather you want to throw at the hill, it seems to get at least the big bucks up and moving, because they know that there's not going to be a lot of predators out there. At least that's what I feel. So we've had good luck with the adverse weather before, and now, we've got a handful of different box blinds, elevated, enclosed blinds on the property. So crawling up into one of those, it allows you to be out there within those elements and film and document all this stuff like we love to do, and spend at least a little bit of time out there. Now, with the windows open in the blind, I mean, like, it was literally snowing sideways in the blind. But I did see a lot of deer, saw a lot of different bucks, had an awesome hunt, and it was just kind of cool. And what I was there for was basically observing the deer and just seeing what they were doing in this much snowfall. I mean, at that point, we had to have had close to 2 feet. When my dad and I got there at like 8 in the morning that morning, we probably had, I'd say, 6 inches, 8 inches. So it snowed probably 15 inches throughout the day just before I went in to hunt. During the hunt, my 3 hour, maybe 3.5 hour sit, it had to have snowed close to another foot. It was an absolute blizzard, relentless the entire time. So much that I got out to our Yamaha Rhino. I had driven that, I don't know, I had driven it up the road a ways and then into like a little gas well drive that we have. I drove it in there probably, I don't know, 300 yards or so from the road. And I had probably another couple 100-yard walk to the blind. And the walk in there was tough enough as it is. I mean, snow over the knees, going 30, 40 yards at a time, stopping because I don't want to break a sweat. Trying not to break a sweat anyway. Finally get to the blind, set up, whatever. And the whole time I'm in the blind, I'm like, man, I don't know. This is probably not going to be good trying to get out of here. Like, it was already hard enough. The Rhino, the clearance, it was basically plowing through snow on the way in there. And I'm just watching the snow accumulate more and more and more, literally by the minute as I'm in this blind. And I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking this isn't going to be good. All the while, I'm seeing a ton of deer. So I'm like locked into the hunt at the same time. Well, I get out of the blind. I start walking back to the Rhino, and I'm telling you, I'm walking through waist deep snow. I mean, I'm essentially snow plowing the snow with my body, with my legs. I've got my pack with all my camera equipment in it, which is not the lightest, the tripod hooked to it, whatever. And I've got my bow in the other hand. So I'm struggling to get out. Meanwhile, I'm pretty bundled up. I've got some layers on. I've got my bigger, heavy Rocky All-Pro suit on because it was so cold, so windy, and so snowy that day. Even though I was in the blind, like, I've got the windows open in the blind. The elements are there. That you're not escaping the cold part of that. So it took me a while to get back to the Rhino, all the while to realize that my tracks coming in were already completely covered. Like, completely covered. You would have never known that I made a trace into this place. So I fired up the Rhino, fired up right away. I got like 30 yards, snow plowed, literally snow over the hood of this Rhino, like piling up on the hood of this Rhino. So I backed up all the way to where I started, and I just got a little bit of a running start, and I plowed through that wall of snow, and I got another like 20 yards. And I backed up again, and I plowed through that snow, and I got probably 15 yards. And then I backed up again, and I plowed through that snow, and I got like 10 yards. And finally, I did that enough to where I couldn't go forward and backward anymore. There was just too much snow. I'm literally sitting in the Rhino on the seat, and I'm looking at, when I ended, I'm looking at snow that is damn near shoulder height to me outside of the Rhino. And I'm like, this is insane. So the Rhino's stranded in there. Still, by the way. It's been, 4 or 5 days since Friday. The Rhino is stranded in there. I don't know if we're going to get that sucker out until April, May, June. I don't know. Whenever this snow melts, which it doesn't seem like it's got any chance of melting in sight. We're praying for a little bit of warmer weather, but it's supposed to stay cold. There's a chance of snow for the next 8 days in a row up there. It's absolutely insane. I huffed and puffed my way all the way out of there, which is a workout in itself. And for the next 18 to 24 hours, we continued to just remove snow from the roof, the porches, in front of any of the doors, the driveway, helped our neighbors out, helped people up the street out. There were people on the side of the road everywhere. I mean, it's a mess up there right now. There is so much snow. And Dean and I went up there yesterday because since we left on Sunday, we got another 18 to 24 inches, which I can tell you factually, we got up there. We couldn't even get in the driveway because the plow wash on the outside of the driveway to get in from the road was probably 3.5 feet tall. Dean had to somehow maneuver his way, figure out how to crawl over that, get into the garage, and plow our way out. And we spent a better part of yesterday clearing snow off the roof, off the driveway. I mean, insane. And if we didn't do that this weekend, we wouldn't even be able to go up there to act like we're going to go hunt. I mean, we got to go up there. You know, it's the last week of rifle season. It's kind of like, tradition. You open the season, you close the season. My dad's going to want to be up there for sure. So we got to be up at camp. We got to. We wouldn't be able to even get up there, and we're going to have to clear it again. I guarantee it. We're going to have to clear the driveway again. It's insane. Once again, I feel bad for the animals. I don't know what they do. I shouldn't say that. The deer are going to be huddled under the hemlocks and in any of the pine thickets, because believe it or not, up there, I don't know if they do this anywhere else. I'm sure they do it in Canada and other places. It gets super, super cold, and you got, any sort of the conifer family pine tree, needle-like trees, but they will, the deer eat the deer eat those needles. They eat the pine needles because what happens is the snow is on the pine trees. The pine tree branches now dip down probably 3 to 4 feet from where they're normally elevated with no snow on them, and the deer can get to them. All the while, it's thermal cover under there for them. So it's going to be warmer under there. There's going to be less wind under there. There's going to be less snow under there. And that's where the deer are huddling out right now. Like, our trail cameras have been dead. We get deer walking in front of them here and there, and it's wild to see them walk. And some of the deer, you could literally only see the tops of their back and their head because that's how much snow there is. And they're now starting to create paths for themselves, and it's amazing how they work with each other. And the older ones, I guarantee you, the ones that have been there 3, 4, 5 years that have experienced deep snow like this know, stay on the same paths. Stay on the same, beat down, a single path that we can get to a food source to, or get back to the hemlocks to, get under thermal cover to. And they do it. It's amazing. They're amazing animals with an amazing will to live. It's actually incredible to watch, but it's hard to fathom having to do that for days on end, let alone weeks on end, and who knows when they're going to get relief from this up there. So we're praying for the deer herd. Hopefully it doesn't take too big of a hit. I think some of the yearling deer are definitely going to struggle and probably not make it, just because it's gotten so deep now that some of them have to be covered up completely. Like, some of them have to literally be, if they're walking through it or if they're on one of the main paths that all of the deer are making for themselves, you almost couldn't even see them. And I don't know how long you can live like that. You got to have some relief at some point. But yeah, it's pretty insane. It's pretty insane, to be completely honest. And it's hard to figure out what do you do? Like, it's still hunting season, and you want to be able to go in there and get after something. I mean, as a hunter, you do, but what is the right thing to do? Just give the deer a break? We don't put a ton of pressure on them to begin with up there, but they do get a lot of neighboring pressure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's a lot of people that are hunting up and around us, and especially since we've been starting to have consistent success up there, you feel the walls closing in. So they do get a lot of pressure up there, but it's hard to figure out what to do. Do you go into conservation mode and just try and preserve what you got and try and make paths with the tractor to help them out and not put too much pressure on them, not really hunt them at all? Or do you use your God-given right to hunt and hunt out the rest of the season? Probably going to be doing a combination of both. I'm not going to lie to you. So, but pray for the people up there. Pray for the deer up there. It's a mess. I can tell you that much. It is an absolute mess. Anyway, for those of you that want some stocking stuffers Christmas gifts, we've got a Black Friday sale going on, and it's not just Black Friday, because we thought that was a little racist. And Black Friday turns into Cyber Monday, turns into TAGNBRAG's sale for Christmas. How about that? We've got anything on the store 20% off using TAGNBRAG20 as your code. You can get this nifty Make Hunt Cams Great Again shirt that I have on here. We've got hats. We've got TAGNBRAG logo to wear. Any cool stocking stuffers for the hunter of your choice. Any hunter in the family. His, hers, we got it all. So check out the website, tagnbrag.co. And we're going to leave the code TAGNBRAG20. All one word, TAGNBRAG 20, all one word. at checkout for 20% off anything on the store and your entire order. We appreciate everybody who supports us, and we want to do the best we can to support y'all as well. So get on there, TAGNBRAG.co, order you some apparel, get it before Christmas if you order within the next week or so. Let's spread joy and cheer together. How about that? All right, folks, what is next? Well, I'll tell you what's next. I'm going to get a hunting in Ohio tonight. It's Ohio shotgun season right now, and I know, there's a bunch of shotgun hunters out there. It's actually firearm season. I know as a bow hunter, it is very difficult to turn that page, but when I think back to my origin as a hunter, as much as I did love bow season, and even before I could carry a weapon, gun or bow, the firearm season brought a lot of camaraderie. More people, more people, more deer got shot, more fun. It was more of a man drive kind of bump the deer around type hunt. So you weren't sitting all day. The patience it was a different kind of patience, and so as much as I don't like, or I don't love, the pressure on the deer and stuff like that, that's kind of my own selfish personal reasons. What I do love about rifle season is it gets more people involved, or any firearm season for that matter. It gets more people involved. A lot of people over the last week are hunting for the first time throughout the year, and that's exciting to me. It really is. I mean, we're here trying to enhance the sport and just promote it to more people because of how much value it's brought us. So the fact that there's more people in the woods over this week here and up in New York for the past couple weeks, Pennsylvania, another bordering state, started Saturday, and I think Tennessee started a couple Saturdays ago. It's like there's more people in the woods, like the true hunt camp feel. Make hunt camps great again. That camaraderie is happening a lot right now, and I love that. I love that. I love that for the sport of hunting. I love that for the people that are doing it. I love that for the new hunters that are being born. I love it. So my selfishness is not going to get in the way of enjoying the firearm season for what it's worth, and ultimately for what it's done for me as a person and as a hunter. It bred me into this stuff, and it made me it made me curious. It made hunting exciting. It made me feel like I was a part of something far bigger and older than I actually was. And it got me so curious that I picked up archery equipment, that I started to sit by myself, that I started to explore public land or different states or whatever. It got me to that point. And for that, I am extremely grateful. So for the guys that hate on the rifle season and stuff like that, hey man, take a deep breath and relax. Because guess what? You could still hunt. And guess what else? You could still hunt. So chill. It's not forever, okay? It's a shift in the season. You got to roll with it. Take it for what it's worth, because you're not going to kill any big bucks, or really, you're not going to kill anything if you're not having any fun. If you're going to stress yourself out about the neighbor whacking a spike, or if you're going to stress yourself out about the old Smith boys up the street booting around the deer because they're doing man drives, or if you're going to stress yourself out about too many people in the public land parking lots, let me tell you something. Take a deep breath and chill. Because you know what? Those people are hunting too. Those people are having a good time, hopefully. Those people are putting in the hours. It is what it is. Just accept it. Go on with your season. Hunt for you. Have fun for you. And let the rest take care of itself, man. Just let the rest take care of itself. Don't stress yourself out into not liking what you're doing right now or not having a season. Or I don't know. Like, I am grateful that I have a tag filled in New York. And I know my dad might be feeling it right now because he hasn't filled a tag. But right now we are shut out of hunting on the homeland up in New York, on the land, on Camp Cutlet property, on the proving grounds, on the space that Dean put so much work in for food plots and beautiful property layouts and entry and exit routes that will just make you want to gyrate. We're shut out of it right now. We can't, you can't hunt it. You can't go in anywhere. Where are you going? Where are you going to in waist deep snow? You're not going far. And what are you going to see when you're there? I don't know. We're shut out of that right now. And it could be a sob story. It could be, my hunting spot is gone. And dude, be grateful for what you got and keep rolling with the punches. Figure it out. Get under a pine hemlock. Go into a hemlock patch and chill. Sit there. Or make some paths for the deer. Walk around a little bit if you can. Get a snowmobile in there. Give them a little bit of relief. Give back to what's given to you. I don't know. I just don't like getting all like, honestly, anything that involves hunting, like, I don't like getting stressed out about it anymore, because hunting is my happy place. The woods, nature, all that shit, that's my happy place. And I'm going to get stressed out over things that I don't have control over. I'm going to get stressed out over the neighbors pushing deer, they're out there hunting, and they're hunting the way that they want to hunt, and it's legal. And I'm going to get pissed off and just be sitting in my stand all like, why? I'm going to get pissed off because I got to wear orange now. It's the orange army's out. I got to wear orange and I got to sit in a tree. I got to wear orange and I got to sit in the blind. And I hear all these gunshots. Somebody shot my deer. Give me a break. Anybody that says my deer about anything, I'm immediately tuning you out. Tuned out. Goodbye. Peace out. See you later. Anybody that says my deer, for one, or all the deer do this, you're tuned out. Not listening anymore. Don't give a shit what you have to say. You lost me. Sorry. Sorry, I'm actually not sorry. I mean, they're not your deer. Even if they're on your property and you own it and it's paid for, paid off, loans paid off, they're not your deer. Sorry. So why get stressed out over something that is out of your control? The weather up in New York, snowed in. I mean, it's a little stressful thinking about what the deer have to go to survive, for sure. But at the end of the day, I can do what I can do what's in my control to, like I said, make some paths. Take the tractor out there, push some paths out for them just to give them a little relief. They could stand somewhere and not feel like they're shoulders deep in snow. I could do that. But like, outside of that, I mean, how much are you going to stress over it? Because you don't have control over, you can't heat up the weather. You can't make the snow melt. You can't make more snow come. So what are you worried about? Just go in there and have fun. It's universal law. Like, you're going out there as a hunter. You're going out there into nature. You're going out there into nature. Everything in nature, it's all energies, different energies. It's all life forms, trees, birds, deer, rabbits, coons, bugs, all the shit. It's all life forms. It's all different forms of energy. And you're going to tell me that you're going to sit out there in the energy ball and you're going to be pissed off with bad energy. And you think that good shit is going to happen during that time when you're pissed off with bad energy. It's not going to. It's not going to. It's an energy thing. You got to attract it. You got to be grateful to be out there no matter what. No matter if you see 3 deer, 13 deer, 30 deer, or maybe none. Maybe you just literally freeze your ass off. You're in the stand and you freeze your freaking ass off. And all you're doing is hearing shots from the neighbors because they're man driving deer. Well, you know what? Be grateful that you get to sit out there and listen to people that are expressing their God-given right to hunt, and they're having some fun. As long as they're doing it legally, as long as they're doing it lawfully, as long as they're doing it safely, tip your hat to them and allow them to do that. And you allow yourself to sit right where you're at, control what you can, because that's all you can do. Enjoy nature and be merry. How about that? Do that. In the wildlife, I mean, you got to be giving off something good. I'm not saying that they're going to come to it like they come to a damn corn pile. I'm not going to say that. But I am going to say if you're putting off good energy, I think more things are going to be attracted to you. You know, it's the same thing as like if you're in that moment of truth and you freak out. If your heart is through the roof and if you can't come up with any sort of calming energy in that point and your body is just coming unglued inside, you don't think the deer can feel that? You don't think a 6-year-old buck at 20 yards can feel that energy? Yeah, he can. What do you think a sixth sense is? What do you think the deer's sixth sense is? It's the energy. It's feeling it. It's feeling the presence of something that wants to kill them. Well, if you're calm, if you can tell yourself or talk yourself through that madness and calm yourself down, that's why you got a far better shot. Because there's an energy that you're calming that is not present to that deer anymore, no matter what one it is. How many people you hear, oh, no, he was whatever. I had the wind in my face. I didn't move a muscle. And that thing just looked up. Well, maybe there's a little bit of a little extra blob up in that tree, but if you're like coming unglued from the insides out, you don't think that he kind of is like, what the fuck is that? What's going on? There's something's happening around me. And he looks and he's starting, now he's alert. Now he's alerted. He, she, whatever it is. Now they're looking in the trees and now they see that blob and they're like, what's that? That wasn't there before. But that thing has got to be the thing that is creating this energy. That flip switch on my sixth sense. Chew on that a little bit. And you know what? Just be happy that you get to go hunt whenever you do, wherever you do it. Just be happy in that moment and see what happens. Try and force yourself to be happy in that moment and see what happens. See if your results are any different. Maybe they won't be. Maybe I'm wrong. And I'm wrong about a lot of things. So I'm just saying. But just try. If you haven't filled the tag yet, number one. And if you have not, if the season hasn't been fulfilling to your standards up until right now, don't make decisions on where you're going to go, what tree stand you're going to pick, what tree you're going to sit by, what blind you're going to go to, whatever it is. Make decisions where you're going to go based on a good wind and putting yourself in the best position. But then once you're there, just honestly Just try and create the energy that is saying, I'm just grateful to be here. And you might just have to say it. You might have to say it out loud. I'm grateful to be here. God, thank you. Thank you for another hunt. Thank you for getting me in this tree safely. Thank you for allowing me these 2, 3, 4 hours, however long it is, to enjoy your creation, your land, what you've provided me, the life that you've provided me. What is it, like 400,000 times the one? That you're even alive, that you're even born, that you're even a thing? Hi. Get in that tree and be like, damn, baby. That fresh air, that is some good shit. And see what happens. Do that for a couple hunts in a row and see what happens. So, got some big news. Well, I don't know if it's big news, but it's cool news. Dino and I are headed back to Kansas. Kansas round 2, baby. The Kansas rifle season actually started today, I believe. Yesterday or today. And we are going, I think it ends the 15th. We will be there on the 15th, start hunting on the 16th. And we're going to give ourselves a week before Christmas to go get after them big old Kansas bruisers again. And your boy sitting here with his pantalones on kind of wants to take them off and run through the snow a little bit. That's how excited I am. Don't tell anyone that, okay? I'll get canceled. Don't tell anyone that I said that. And definitely don't tell anyone how I said it. But anyway, we are fired up. We're fired up. It's going to be good. It's going to be the last like big trip of the year. We'll obviously still be hunting here in Ohio and New York till the season closes. And Ohio doesn't close till the end of January, so we've got a couple months worth of time left, which is kind of crazy. But I'm pumped. I'm pumped. It'll be my 3rd time to Kansas in 2 years. I am itching to fill a tag there. There's a lot of good bucks that are moving on camera. We left a couple cameras out there. And it seems like this last week, and especially out there, they don't have the snow, but the cold weather is certainly coming in, and that scrape activity is ramping up. And now we got about 10 days before we go. So I think we're going to be hitting them going back to food a lot. But if you guys remember the Kansas episodes from last year, it was December 12th. The morning of December 12th, we watched 5 bucks locked down on one doe for an hour and a half and literally harassing her, driving her nuts, going back and forth in a winter wheat field from cover patch to cover patch. One of the big ones, this big old 10-pointer was pushing her around and was pushing the other bucks off of her. And funnily enough, he literally just showed back up on that same piece of property like 3 days ago. And he's been consistent on camera for the last 3 days. So super, super pumped about that. I don't know what to say. I'm grateful. I'm just grateful to be going out there. I'm grateful for the opportunity to be hunting Kansas. This is, we've talked about this as well. This is a lifelong dream of ours, and we're living it out. We went to Kansas at the end of October. It was unseasonably warm, 80, 90 degree temperatures, and we still saw some great deer. We still put ourselves in positions to shoot a couple deer that we passed on. We saw a couple really big shooters. Got left with 2 giants that I saw on the last day, and it just didn't feel like that was the end of Kansas for us this year. So we're going back, baby. We're going back, and we're taking you with us. Mark your calendars, December 15th. I bet the vlogs will probably start that like 17th, 18th-ish on our YouTube channel. So get ready. You guys are coming to Kansas with us. You guys get to live out this lifelong dream with us. We're going to go endure some cold weather and hopefully get on a buck or two. But we're going to tag 2. That's what we're going. That's the mission. Tag 2 bucks. Fill the tags. We got a lot invested, time, money, effort, spirit, thoughts, dreams, hopes, all that stuff. Let's go fulfill it. I want to celebrate in Kansas. I want to celebrate the chase, the sacrifice, and the harvest in Kansas. And that's what we're going to do. And that's about it. I mean, rest of the season will be here in Ohio. We got some really nice deer here in Ohio that we're trying to get on now that it's cold here. Going to be hunting in the snow tonight, which is exciting. In New York, we'll just have to see. But we do have vlogs coming out every other day on our YouTube channel. Updates from New York and the snowstorm. Updates from the rainy bucks that the other day. Shout out to our cousin Jamie knocking another buck down in Tennessee with Uncle Jay 2 days ago. That is going to be on our YouTube channel by this weekend. And we got a lot more coming from Tennessee as well. Uncle Jay's hard at it down there. We got Cuzzy hunting here in Ohio. Maybe he comes up to New York. I don't know. And we're just going to ride it out. We got tags to fill. And we ain't stopping. We ain't stopping. The trusty Hoyts are still ready to eat. The freezer is not full enough yet. But if you need some meat, come over because we got some in the freezer. We always have some for our friends, and we will shoot more deer, so we're going to bet on that. But, y'all, I feel so good that you guys came and hung out with me today. I appreciate you all. Hope you had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Hopefully, if you haven't filled a tag yet, you're still after them. Stay after them. It's a long season, and it can change in an instant. And even more than just the rut, it can change in an instant. It can change in an instant, even in the late season. New bucks pop up. Things change quickly. If you're hunting over a food source, all of a sudden the buck that you've been looking for all year long steps out into that food source and gives you an opportunity. Keep after it. Keep after it. I love each and every one of you. Thank you. Don't forget to follow us on social medias. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, at TAGNBRAG. And we'll see y'all right back here next Wednesday on another episode of Goose Chasing. Love you.